I apologize for having such extremists in studio. And I think all of you should prove that you love the government by taking every vaccine they come out with, eating all the GMO food, drinking all the fluoride, and believing whatever the mainstream media tells you. Now, going back to you gentlemen, we have Michael-Boldin in here with us with the 10th Amendment Center, 10thAmendmentCenter.com. But you were finishing up, Stewart, with the key to the Brandon Smith model of alt.market.com with this decentralization.
Yes, don't do like Nothouse did, by Nothouse. Don't have a big pile of silver in one place. Don't try to be a central organization that runs everything. Instead, be like a swarm of bees. A hunter in the woods can't kill a swarm of bees, no matter how powerful his rifle.
You could have 1,000 different groups taking, silver and making it into coins and just stamping a symbol of liberty on it.
Or just use simple junk silver from 1964 or earlier. Just do it as individuals, as families, as neighborhoods, as communities. Do it yourselves.
And big things start small. Take how you couldn't get organic food 10 years ago. Now it's supplanting in mainline stores the GMO garbage because people are being given that choice. That's what they're scared of. That's why they're calling it terrorism, because they're killing the dollar, so they don't want you to go away from their dollar.
They're killing the dollar, and they want to replace it with a world currency that you'll have no choice but to accept. That's why you must resist at every level. As individuals, you must realize that you can't let them chill your behavior or chill your speech. And as states, Utah just passed a sound money legislation into law.
They're more extreme than the Amish. Let's go to Michael-Boldin. Michael, tell us about your evil activity.
Well, the answer, as you know, to 1984 is 98. There's this evil extremist terrorist. His name is Thomas Jefferson, Alex. And he told
the father of Al-Qaeda.
He told us in 1798 that the several states composing the United States of America are not united on a principle of unlimited submission to their general government. And any time that the general government violates the Constitution, the rules given to it by we the people of the several states.
It's null and void.
A nullification of the act is the rightful remedy. As you interviewed so many people, Sam Rohrer, Charles Key, all these people around the country that are introducing state sovereignty resolutions, firearms freedom acts, and nullification bills in the states, this is not just a good idea. Jefferson and Madison told us that this is our duty.
This is America.
Absolutely.
And it starts with the Declaration of Independence, says the same thing. When this government becomes destructive of these aims, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, it's not just our right, it's our duty to remove it and change it or change it back. And that's what we do with nullification. So why do we even have states if the mainstream media, the dinosaur corporate media, is running around foaming at the mouth saying, if you talk about states' rights, you literally eat children.
You hate America if you talk about decentralization, whether it's about marijuana or rejecting the Patriot Act or saying that your state's National Guard troops, like was a bill just introduced in Maine, should not be overseas occupying foreign countries. It doesn't matter what the issue is, left, right, or center. They just want to keep us in a box fighting amongst each other, like Rachel Maddow attacked us on MSNBC last week at saying the 10th Amendment Center is pushing all these evil decentralization.
She attacked you because you actually know the real rules of the game.
Maybe.
And they're cheating, and they don't like it.
Yeah, and James Madison also told us in 1798 that a state, when the federal government violates the Constitution, is duty-bound to interpose, to stand in between you, the citizen of the state, and the federal government to protect your liberty. This isn't something we're not supposed to vote the bums out and hope that the new bums just fix the problems created by the last bums. We're not supposed to wait for some black-robed deities on the Supreme Court to tell us that we can exercise our rights. We're supposed to exercise our rights whether they want us to exercise our rights.
But Donald Trump's going to save us.
Well, as long as the birth certificate is dealt with, everything is going to go away. That's the reality of it all.
Absolutely. People need to be taken over their counties, their cities. I mean, you look at the city of Austin. There are few city councils this criminal. I mean, they're robbing, stealing, grabbing, involved taxes, insider deals, going back for decades, because this is a rich town. And wherever the money is at, these creatures show up. And if the city of Austin, the people here, shouldn't be voting 60% in the presidential election. They should be voting 60% in local elections. And that's really part of the 10th Amendment as well. The power resides with the people at the state level, and we need to take our legislatures back.
Absolutely. The 10th Amendment codifies in law that we, the people of the several states, we created the federal government, not the other way around. We created that government to be our agent for certain enumerated or listed purposes and nothing more. That means no EPA, no national health care, no mandates, no Patriot-Act, no unconstitutional wars, no federal education, no on and on and on.
And you notice once we let them do this, like a demonic New World Order Easter bunny, it just starts laying new bureaucracies, new laws, new power grabs. Under the 10th Amendment, what Obama now is going to have your computer passcode, and you're going to have a federal ID to surf the web or purchase things.
Well, it's got to be the job of our states, of our sheriffs. I mean, I'm sure you've talked with Sheriff Mack. It's got to be the duty of the sheriffs of the states, of our people locally, to stand up and say no. And we can see that when 25 states reject the Real ID Act the Bush administration slammed down our throat, or 15 states like my home state of California say, we don't care what the Supreme Court says about medical marijuana, we're going to do it anyways. When enough people say no to Washington, D.C., and enough states pass laws to back them up, there's not much that D.C. can do to slam their unconstitutional acts, because they are not laws. Unconstitutional acts are usurpations of power. There's not much that they can do to slam that down our throats.
You were in the green room earlier. What do you make of these amazing statements by the federal government with Bernard von Nuthouse, just a mainline, guy producing an alternative currency, not counterfeiting, totally lawful, in competition with the Federal Reserve, and they said this is an insidious terror attack. We're going to infiltrate anybody trying to create an alternative currency and put them in jail. The good news is even the Wall Street Journal, even the Associated Press said this wasn't illegal what he did. Well, who is this jury they've got? Well, 98% of people indicted by the feds end up going to jail. Folks, do you really believe 98% of people are guilty? No. They have special federal juries, as you know, Stewart, that are kept and basically rotate around who would send the Virgin Mary to the electric chair for no reason if they were told to.
Obey your orders, slave. But the reality is that great smugglers like John Hancock gave us a tradition of resistance. We just need to continue pushing along those lines and saying no, because we the people have the power. And it's, I've listened to your show long enough to know that these are the types of things they do. They try to make example of people who aren't high profile enough to scare good, honest people back into watching the game on TV, because it's too scary. I don't want to get involved with using that new 10th Amendment Center silver medallion that we just released yesterday, because I'm afraid that guy Bernard got busted. So they'll do that from time to time to freak everybody out, but they can't arrest all of us.
Oh, I've seen people arrested for having an alternate silver coin because the cops think they're illegal.
Sure, the $2 bills. But I think the reality is it should be the other way around. If society was running the way it was supposed to be, everyone who was using those fiat dollars, which are just fraud anyways, they should be in jail. You should be in jail right now, Alex.
Maybe somebody have a lighter, ought to burn these. Folks, this may have George Washington on it, but it says Federal Reserve note. And until 1913, it didn't say Federal Reserve note, and you could take the dollars and redeem them for silver or gold. Now they just took the backing away, and the bankers give this to the government, and then $1 of digital debt is created that you and I have to pay for. These bankers, these Bernie Madoff, Ken Lay types, get the whole world through fraud, and if you don't want to use their garbage, counterfeit, U.S. government money, and they claim this is a crime, destroying their holy money. That's in that. No, this is the counterfeit money. This is the garbage. This is the joke. This is the fraud. This is the scam. This confetti right here is what's killing our country and what gives these banksters unlimited financial power. As Thomas Jefferson said, if you ever let private banks issue the currency and credit, that we will wake up, our children will wake up homeless on the continent their forefathers conquered. It is that simple. You think that the first time we had something like this was 1913? For thousands of years, these banking frauds have been made. But real Ponzi operators don't go to jail. They take over the world. And they put in draconian systems where you can't pack your own child's school lunch because you've been trained to be a prisoner. Closing comments on that from both of you.
One quick comment. It's really important that we work to end the Fed from the bottom up, something that we're working on at 10th Amendment Center, that Stewart just mentioned about the Constitutional Tender Act that passed in Utah that you were talking about previously, because we can pull the rug out from under them by just starting to use gold and silver and show that the money is really worth less than the paper that it's printed on.
Oh, it's wrong, they say, to deface or do anything to the private Federal Reserve's money. But it's okay when Wachovia and Wells Fargo get caught shipping in $376 billion of laundered money. They didn't get in trouble for that. That's the feds looking out for us, right, guys?
That's it.
Stewart, what do you think about that story about all the laundered drug money?
Which one was it?
Did you see the story out of Bloomberg and AP about the $376 billion in laundered drug money with Wachovia and Wells Fargo?
No, I missed that.
Good folks. But, I mean, they're doing what that's good. But if your kid gets caught with a marijuana cigarette, behind bars, baby.
Well, the answer, like you said a minute ago, the answer is for all of us to withdraw our consent, withdraw our cooperation, and to have the guts to stand up.
Great job, guys. We're out of time. Let's go do the video interview for PrisonPlanet.tv. See you back live tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central. Great job, crew.